Half a lap for the restart in the Sharpie 500 at Bristol. Kevin Harvick, the race leader. 24 cars on the lead lap. Mark Martin made a pit stop under this caution. He's back in 23rd position. Remember, he lost track position on the pit stop problem we showed you last caution.
And that means Mark can make it on one more stop. If this thing becomes a fuel mileage situation, it's hard to imagine Bristol being a fuel mileage race, but you never know.
Green flag.
Good strategy. You don't have much of a choice when you're that far back.
I mean,
Mike Skinner after Kevin Harvick for the race lead.
All right, look at Skinner go.
Trying to march to the front.
You know, that's exactly what I was going to say. Whoa! He carries him up the hill and almost lets Jeff Gordon get by both of them.
Skinner to the point. Jeff Gordon squeezing. Oh, a little rub there with Kevin Harvick. Gathered it back up. Gordon to second. Here comes Ricky Rudd on Harvick for third. Clunk.
Talk about the right front fender. He got caved in there on the 21 car.
A little feisty here after the restart, huh?
Starting to get angry.
Harvick's hanging he's hanging tough on that outside, right, Dave?
BP, he radioed to his crew. It rotates really hard now. I want the air temperatures or the air pressures in that rear tires to come up quick.
Yeah, and he had that problem. He had a problem with air pressures, we think, during the Busch race last night as well. He was really, really fast, made a pit stop. It took a long time for his car to come back in. The car looks like it's loose right now.
It took longer than he had to get back to the front as far as remaining laps in the race. Jeff Gordon all over the back of Mike Skinner now for the race lead, as Kevin Harvick has been shuffled quickly back to fourth after the restart.
There's Gordon taking a look. Got the track position.
Oh, turn 3. As Jeff Gordon takes the lead away from Mike Skinner, the caution is out. Jeff Green has crashed.
Boy, that one car's had a long night already. It's only 192 laps in.
Well, if he's finished it off here,
He definitely has finished it off.
it might be merciful. Merciful. 8th caution flag tonight.
I tell you, it looks like someone just so many times we see a little bit of bump going in the corner and they back them in the wall. That's what they look like. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, you're on the edge at this place all the time anyway, so it doesn't take a whole lot of contact. That's exactly what happened, BP. Just a little touch like that.
That was for 19th place.
And it looks like, oh, you're okay, until you come up to that part right there.
A lot of sparks there. Thank goodness the fuel didn't rupture.
Back to Bristol in a minute. Half a lap away from the restart in the Sharpie 500 at Bristol Motor Speedway. Caution out for the 8th time because Jeff Green got turned around into the outside wall in turn 3. Been kind of a rough night for Jeff. This was 7 laps into the race.
Yeah, Jeff tagged that guy. Well, he didn't really have a whole lot to do, maybe a little bit to do with that. Then he tagged that guy, and well, he made a lot of people mad.
And this time he gets tagged.
And he's mad.
So we'll add him to the mad list. Jeff Gordon leads as we're back underway, just about to hit the 200 lap mark.
Gordon got a good jump, cleared that slower car, and he's going to put a little bit of room in between him and Skinner. Now Skinner working on the inside.
Oh man, look at the traffic bottle up here. Casey Mears in the outside lane. Tony Raines in the inside lane. Skinner slides up the racetrack in the 01.
This 74 car of Raines evidently had some kind of problem to begin with, but his car is very fast right now. Here comes Junior on the inside of Ricky Rudd for position.
Be for 3rd place. Dale Earnhardt Jr. transmitting just a minute ago.
My car's okay, but I don't know. Me and it don't fit. It was a good car, but what I want to do and what it wants to do are 2 different things. Not that neither one of them bad. You know what I'm saying?
That is hilarious. He's talking about that car like it's a human being. And you know something? If a car's good, that's what you feel. Like they can hear you. Bill?
Yeah, Tony Eury Jr. told him you guys just need to spend more time together. The car was tight, then it was loose, then it tightened up a little bit. Then again, he didn't like a set of tires yesterday, but so far it's working out okay for Junior.
Junior Jr. running third now behind Jeff Gordon and Mike Skinner. Here's Matt Kenseth trying to get by Kevin Harvick for 7th spot. Remember, Harvick was up in the lead not that long ago.
Oh, there's Biffle right behind. Is that Sterling Marlin back there? He's fought his way up to 10th spot.
After almost being lapped earlier.
And Biffle was lapped, and he's fought his way back up to 9th.
What's going on with that 16 car there, Marty?
What an incredible run for these guys, Wally. They did go down a lap early, have made it up, and they made their way back up through the field since. And a little bit tied off for Biffle, but he said, I'm not going as fast as I could go right now, saving a little bit for later in the race. Dave?
Marty, remember where Sterling Marlin started? 36th. He used a 2-tire stop to work his way up. On that last stop, he was a little bit loose. They lowered the track bar, took some air out of the right rear tire. It took up fine now.
Marlin running 10th. Putting a lot of pressure on Greg Biffle for 9th. Look at the scoring serial on the 40 car.
Yeah, he was about to go a lap down at one point in the race, right before one of those yellows came out.
Looks to me like right now that the 17 car, Matt Kenseth, is struggling. Trying to struggle to stay in front of these cars.
Jimmy Johnson, Kurt Busch racing for 5th and 6th. Since we're looking at the Lowe's car, how about our Lowe's improvers? Guys that have gained the most ground to this point in the race.
Yeah, I thought Sterling Marlin would fit in that group.
Nice job for Dale Jarrett tonight. And Jimmy Johnson up 11 spots.
Boy, that 74 car is all over Skinner, and he gets in the back of him.
Now the snoozers. Michael Waltrip, of course, the big crash, lost 38 spots. Ted Musgrave and Rusty Wallace. Rusty again choosing to go to the local hospital for further observation and examination by the doctors after the crash he and Michael Waltrip had earlier.
I'm telling you what, that 74 car is fast right now.
He passed him on the outside. Talking about the 01 car of Skinner.
Nemechek through the lap car, opening the door to the inside of Skinner for Dale Jr.
Hey, Matt, what's going on with that 74? It looked like he had problems at the start of the race because he lost a lot of time, but he's hooked up now.
He sure did, Wally. In fact, he had a tire going down, had to make an unscheduled pit stop. Remember, Tony Raines always fast on the concrete here in Bristol. His best qualifying effort here. Hoping to make that pay off with a good run here tonight. It looks like that car very, very fast.
Oh, here we go. Junior on the inside of Skinner for the 2nd position.
Well, Ricky Rudd's right there, too, so might lose a couple spots here.
So Skinner shuffled back to 4th, Dave.
Yeah, Alan, they're getting him in the middle of the corner. The car won't turn there. It drives up off fine, but he just can't get through the middle of the corner.
Yeah, we actually mentioned that before this last pit stop, too, that's where he was having his trouble. So whatever adjustments they made on that pit stop didn't fix it.
Jimmy Johnson by him, Kurt Busch by him. So Skinner shuffled from 2nd back to 6th in just a couple of quick laps here at Bristol. Tell you what, while we've been watching all this stuff from 2nd on back, Jeff Gordon's gone. He's got almost a 4-second lead on 2nd place. That's big at Bristol. Only takes 16 seconds to make a whole lap.
And I'll tell you, a lot of that is on the restart. He was able to clear the slower cars, and those other cars weren't, and he got a lot of track space made up because of that.
Hey, Marty, those Wood brothers got to be delighted with the way this 21 car is running.
It's so much fun, BP, to see these guys up front in the 3rd position right now for Ricky Rudd. And last week we talked about Ford celebrating their 100th anniversary. One of Ford's longtime mainstays, the Wood brothers, also celebrating an anniversary this year. It's their 50th year in NASCAR racing. The Stewart, Virginia-based team has been to victory lane 97 times in NASCAR competition. And the last one came right here at Bristol in March of 2001. Wouldn't it be great, BP, to see win number 98 tonight?
The car is very, very fast. It closes right up on the back bumper of Junior in that 8 car.
Chasing him for 2nd place.
Yeah, he's probably the fastest car on the racetrack right now. Maybe not as fast as Jeff Gordon, but he's certainly 2nd quick. And see how that car is right down on the bottom and really is hugging the bottom of the racetrack. Boy, that's what you have to have here at Bristol. He almost hooks the left front tire on the apron. Matt?
Really, the only problem tonight for Ricky Rudd was
Troubles for Ted Musgrave. No caution yet. Now the caution comes out. Musgrave trying to limp around after getting squeezed into the backstretch wall. As he and Ricky Craven got tangled together there, I think.
And once again, I think this was a break for Matt Kenseth. Looked to me like he had started struggling, had gone back to the 13th position. There he is.
I mean, I'm just wondering if we need to set of tires, but I don't know. I guess take a half a pound out of the right rear and let's put a turn of wedge in the left rear.
And that's one thing the drivers are always worried about too, especially Ricky Rudd. He wants to make sure that they put the exact same tires or type of tires on the car, pressures and everything. The car was so good, you don't want to make a pit stop and have that car change.
They didn't come down pit road because the pace car hasn't gathered up the field quite yet. They kind of missed connections there. Jeff Gordon in the pace car. Check it out, coming off turn 2.
Oh, man.
I think there's more to that we haven't seen. It looked like Ricky just turned into him.
Clear high. Oops, sorry.
Tell you one thing, there's a lot of damage to that 32 car, I believe.
Yeah, there's a lot of damage on the right side.
So the leaders should come to the opening of pit road now and begin to duck in. The double pit road here at Bristol. They go down the back and then around the front under caution. Dave?
Mike Skinner in. They're going to take air out of the rear tires to try to get that car to turn and come up off the corner well. 4 tire stop. Little drink for Mike. Marty?
Jimmy Johnson hit pits road running 5th, Dave, and a little bit tight for Johnson. Gets tighter the longer he runs. A round and a half in the right rear trying to loosen that car up. Bill.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. making his way toward his pit stall. Gets there now. This will be 4 tires and a round and a half in the track bar because his car is just loose. Matt.
And Jeff Gordon's team waiting for him to pull to a stop. Gordon says the car's still awesome. He was a little tight in the middle on a new set of sticker tires, but the car was starting to come to him. No adjustments on this stop. Remember on the previous stop, Adam Davis's gun jammed. They had to go to a backup gun. The rears are done. The fronts are going on. He's still not going to beat him off pit road, Alan.
Ryan Newman, Ricky Rudd, Kevin Harvick, then Jeff Gordon. So under caution here at Bristol Motor Speedway in the Sharpie 500. Leaders have just made pit stops.